What is up, people? This is to everybody, your subscribers and my subscribers. This man next to me, you may have seen him on YouTube. He is a star, and his name is David Shee.
I love it. I'm not a star.
You're an up-and-coming star.
Yeah, that's thanks to James. That's what he calls me. I appreciate that, James.
Yeah, man. Here you go. I'm gonna get you a nice boat cup holder. Oh wait, you have it upside down. Boat cup holder for your drink because it's a teak table, my friend. On oysters, we are required to use the cup host. What is this called?
Coaster.
Coasters.
It's called a coaster. You just missed me using my shirt to clean his precious little table. My boat is in a shambles, so I really could care less about anything right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I came into Panama about 2 months ago and met Dave, met Colin, met Plucky, met Rick from SSL, met all these YouTubers, and that's actually the reason I'm here, is to meet all you guys. And David is a fairly new boat owner. You've had that boat for a year and a half, about, right?
No, man.
I need to hear your story. This is the whole thing. I want to hear your story, man.
Not even a year.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So he tells me very briefly that he buys the boat and then like a week later sails it for his first sail from St. Martin to Panama. Now, if you don't know how far that is, it's what, 1,000 miles?
13?
1,300?
1,200, 1,300. Well, I didn't know what I was doing, so it was 13 for me. You probably could have done it in 11.
Well. So then he puts the boat on the hard, starts ripping it apart, realizes that, you realize that it had boat problems. Actually, I'll let you tell the story. It's ridiculously crazy, and I think it would break most of you.
So, probably like you guys, I've been watching sailing channels for just ever. I love the idea of sailing, never did it, and thought I would want to one day, but, you can't afford stuff like this. It's just not possible, but we were doing a van trip with my wife and kids, and we were like, this is amazing. I never want to go home. So the idea was to go home and build a new van, our perfect dream van, and start van lifing.
Wait. I'm sorry. I have to butt in here. Mm-hmm. What kind of van did you have? You were like a pro vanner?
No. I was a wannabe. I'm always a wannabe. That's the problem.
You're not anymore, dude.
No, I'm still one. I can't sail. I haven't sailed yet. Okay, so we had a Ford Transit that I bought and built out myself on the inside. It's horrible. It's plywood. It works. Super functional, but it's not pretty. But it sleeps a lot of people, okay? Me, my wife, we got 4 kids. Everybody fits in the van. They're little kids, so it's easy to just squeeze them anywhere. And so we wanted to come home, build a van, and just drop everything we had at home and go van life.
That's a lot of kids. Is one in a drawer by any chance? Like you just pull a drawer out, there's another child.
I mean, you can literally put them at their size. You can put them on top of each other. It works. They fall asleep. You just stack them. The bigger ones, they got a little. They sleep on the crash pad, the climbing crash pad, and the small ones, the baby ones, just on top of each other, no problem. So we came home and my wife was like, we were watching our sailing channels, and my wife was like, why don't we sail? I mean, why would you want a van when you can have a boat? And I was like, because we don't have money to have a boat. Long story short, we went through our finances, decided to start selling everything, and we figured out we could have a boat. So watching sailing channels, one of my favorites, aside from Zingaru, is...
Thanks. I appreciate you putting that in there.
No, it's true, though. It's true. I watched this guy lose his boat. I almost didn't buy a cat because of this guy. But I watched Parlay Revival, and they had a bigger cat, and I needed a bigger cat because we got all the people. And because of him, I was like, I'm buying this 450. So
That's the same boat he has, right?
Exact same boat, and that's why I bought it. I was seriously considering yours, but you can't find yours. You can't just go around the corner and find your boat.
A Crowther, you mean?
Your cat.
My cat?
Yeah, you can't just find that anywhere.
They're super small. That's a whole different boat, dude. Like,
we were considering
Daggerboard cat with very small headroom and 2 beds, or Lagoon. That's like a huge opposite end.
Yeah. We were considering the small ones. We really thought that would work because, price-wise, it's easier than getting into than a Lagoon, Yeah. But after doing more research, I realized I need to be able to carry toys and stuff and more stuff. And, for 6 people, I needed something bigger, something that could do more weight. Mm-hmm. So, we looked. We sold everything. Took us probably about a year and a half to sell literally anything that I could find in the house. Okay, we're talking like if it's $20 or more, I'm putting it on Facebook Marketplace. Like plates in the kitchen.
Really?
I sold them. We had some, the things that go on the end of curtains, curtain rod, little decoration things. Put them all together, sold them. $50 for like a bunch of all of them. Blinds, I sold blinds. Of course, all the furniture, the cars, the everything.
I gotta say, man, for me, it's not even worth it. Like, I don't like selling stuff on Craigslist or eBay or
you gotta try Facebook Market, man.
I hate selling stuff.
It's infinitely
People like
better.
come to your house and like, oh, I don't know, it's got like a crack. Dude, it's $50 for 300. Just buy it.
I was crazy. So usually, when you're selling stuff, you're like, oh, should I meet the guy? I don't want to spend the time and the money to gas to go meet. No, I didn't care. I drove anywhere and everywhere to sell everything we had. I would meet 10 to 15 people a day selling stuff. Like I was like a drug dealer for not drugs. And we sold everything. So we have a couch left and we have a single TV. All our mattresses are on the ground. We got a bunch of crates that everything lives in.
Wait. Isn't your wife staying at home right now?
Yeah. I mean, we're at home.
So you sold everything and then she had to go back?
We have nothing. We have nothing. And then we bought this boat in St. Martin. Got a survey. Boat was good. Did a little negotiation. Got some money back for, the concessions. And then that night I was like, I don't know. I was watching Parlay's videos about the broken bulkheads, and I was like, I know this boat doesn't have it. The surveyor already just guaranteed me beyond a shadow of a doubt. I asked him so many times and he was like, there's just no problems. Don't worry. Seriously, don't worry. He said he's been doing it for 20 years. He insinuated that I was an idiot that was just too scared because it was my first boat purchase. He was talking to me like I was a 10-year-old. I let it go, and then I snuck aboard that night. I drove all the way up to Anse Marcel, which is like about an hour drive north of the main area in St. Martin. You got to go up into the mountains. I snuck aboard, and I found tools on the boat, and I started taking stuff apart on the boat, and I found evidence of bulkhead issues that they guaranteed absolutely would not be there. And then I come back and I walk away from the boat. And the seller asks me why, and I tell her, like, there's bulkhead issues. I'm telling you, I know it. And she thinks I'm full of crap because she thinks I'm just trying to negotiate with her. So she pays for her own bulkhead survey. She's like, you are so full of shit. I will pay for the survey and prove you wrong. And I find out she pays the exact same surveyor that had already checked the boat off and said that it's perfect. Turns out they're friends.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, forget this.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, there's no way this is going to work, right? So the surveyor calls me the next day on the way to the boat telling me, yeah, I'm about to go check out the boat again, but like I told you, there's no issues, blah, blah, blah. An hour later, this honest dude calls me back and says, I owe you an apology. There are signs of bulkhead issues in this boat. And I was like, oh my God!
I'm not crazy!
I knew it! And so then... long story short, I walked away from the boat again because of the survey or because of the bulkhead issues. And then 3 weeks later, we lowballed the hell out of them, thinking that it was just some minor bulkhead issues. It really just looked like minor bulkhead issues. And we bought the boat. So bought the boat, hung out for right at about a week in St. Martin. And that's when I realized that the bulkhead issues were a whole lot more.
Oh, how did you remove some of the pieces and actually look at it?
Yeah, I removed more pieces. I could tell the shrouds were super tight. Not as in the tension, but that they had been tightened over and over and over. Like we were starting to run out of threads on the shrouds. So I didn't know all this when I was looking at the boat originally, but that means it's been bending. The boat has been bending and the shrouds have been loosening. So over the years...
Sucks, dude.
Yeah, they've been tightening those shrouds down. So anyways, this whole time I had been talking to Colin, or I should say I've been trying to talk to Colin from Parlay. And... yeah, the dude's busy, but finally he got back to me, and I was like, hey, what do you think about me coming to Panama and setting up shop next to you? I said it a little bit more vague than that, and he was like, come on down, man. And that's how I ended
up... Now you are right next to him. That's so funny. Yeah, You're like his next door neighbor.
So imagine...
Hey, Colin, I just bought a boat and I want to come down and I want to meet you. You're my favorite guy. You're my hero. Can I...
It's not...
No wonder he didn't get back to you.
Dude, it was exactly like that. I was like, dude, you're my hero. You're the reason why I bought this boat. And now I have bulkhead issues. And
have
can
you
give me some advice?
About this?
Yeah. I mean, we talk. It's funny now, but I mean, back then it wasn't so funny because I was like... So I didn't go straight to him. I actually went to a Lagoon dealer in St. Martin with the bulkhead issues, tried to have him look at it, tried to get him to help me, tried to get him to advise me, and they literally laughed me off. I mean, they literally told me, hey, you're an idiot, man. There's no bulkhead issues. That's not a thing. The boat bending a little bit, that's normal for lagoons. They all do that. The cracking that you found on the gel coat and all over the place, it's normal. They all do that over 4 or 5 years. It's called settling.
Did they really say that?
Absolutely. Everybody says that. Yeah, they think it's settling because all lagoons have that issue. But they have that issue because all of these Lagoon 450s have broken bulkheads. That's why they have that issue, and that's why it's so commonplace.
Hold that thought. Tom, come on in, buddy. Speaking of Colin, this is Tom, and you are Colin's crew now for a couple months, right, buddy?
Yeah, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, cheers. What am I looking at?
Okay, go on, because this story is just unbelievable, man. So now you're...
I called the wife, and I'm like, okay, wife, listen. I need help sailing this boat to Panama. Because I don't really know how to sail. I've taken some lessons.
You're just telling her now?
I don't really know how to sail. No, she knows I don't know how to sail. The whole time she's like, what are you doing? I mean, like, I appreciate that you're trying to get us a boat because it was my idea, but what the hell are you doing? Like, we're really going to buy, like, we're wiring money out? Like, we're just life savings done, wired out? Yeah, she's the one that did it all. And, she's like, I'll come and help, but...
Kind of in a daze, like, okay.
No, she's never been on a boat. I don't know. I take that back. She'd been on a catamaran, but she'd never sailed before. She spent, on one of my lessons, she hopped aboard, and she was on the cat for, like 30 minutes, checking it out. And I was trying to sell her on it, like, hey, we really do need this boat. It's expensive, but this is the one. And so she had been on a boat, actually the same model boat, but she had never sailed before.
Wow.
So she flew down, and then I literally walked around St. Martin, got on the groups, and started asking people for crew. And luckily I found a captain that really wanted to come down because my insurance wasn't going to let me sail without a captain anyways. It gave me a good rate, so him and his girlfriend came down with. And he helped me sail it down. So we sailed almost a week exactly.
Don't even say anything. He already did it.
He's doing the whole coaster thing again, all right? He's doing the whole coaster thing to
God!
I just
You know what, though?
I just spotted your guys' coaster. I was like, I don't have a coaster.
If you don't use a coaster and you leave your glass here for a minute, it's not the teak, it's the varnish gets all messed up.
I don't blame you. I have the same exact problem on my gel coat right now from rust. Because I've left cans on the gel coat and now I've got rings of rust. But
you know what gets that off really easily is what is that stuff? I used it on my last delivery. The guy showed it to me. It was really good. I'll get the name for it and text you.
I actually just came in to see if I could steal your car.
Yeah, sure.
If that's all right, I don't want to.
It's all right. It's all right.
I want to go to Panama.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So Tom is just using us. He's not going to let us use him. Thanks, Tom.
You can use me.
That's okay.
We'll use you tonight.
Use the hell out of me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a date for later. 9 p.m. Again?
Sure. Again.
Tom and I have decided to do a duet together.
Yep.
So you guys will see that soon.
Epic, man.
We haven't really nailed down a song. We've got a couple. Audio or Chris Cornell's version of Nothing Compares. Nothing Compares. I love that song, and the way he does it is haunting. And
You sound like Sinead O'Connor.
Stone Sours.
It's a cover. It's a Rolling Stones cover.
Rolling Stones cover Wild Horses. That's a great song too.
Yeah. Have you heard that version?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's really good. I love Stone Sour too.
Yeah.
I think we should just do them both.
Sure.
Cool, man.
I haven't done this before, so it's good learning new stuff.
You have anything to add to the conversation here? You know his story, right?
I know the story. I don't know the details, but
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was just standing behind the camera having a little smile while I was listening to it.
It's almost unbelievable. I can't believe you're still on the boat. Like I would have quit probably. I mean, I like to say that I don't quit, and I've been tested through the years, but man,
I've almost quit many times.
yeah.
I mean, I missed the beginning, but have you been on a boat before?
I have. Yeah, I bought a 10-lesson pack in Kemah, in Texas, and it was 10 lessons, 10 days, 4 hours a pop, and you go on a sailboat, a Lagoon 450.
Yeah.
And we sailed. Yeah, I knew I could sail in a bay. I mean, it's no problem sailing. I figured that out. But I mean, being on the ocean and seeing the just the expanse. I never experienced that.
Yeah.
It's cool, right?
Because I thought that I was a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy for coming here to buy. I came here to buy a boat as well, which didn't work out. But I at least had a year.
Yeah.
You know, like I just came off a boat for a year, you know, and still it was scary for me. You know, still it was like, shit, am I even ready for this? I've been on it for a year. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's, I mean, I don't think you can ever learn everything, you know, like especially in a year. I mean, you're constantly learning, but I thought I was a little bit nuts buying a boat after a year, let alone buying a boat after 10 days of sailing.
I paid attention. I paid a lot of attention during those. I did some online courses. I learned how to tie a bowline.
I don't even know that.
Bowline?
That's
Is that how you say it?
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Bowline. Bowline. See, you got to tell me this stuff so I don't sound stupid, man.
It's all good. Everybody sounds stupid sometimes.
Bowline. Okay, so
Bowline.
I've sounded really dumb several times now, and no one told me.
Well, I think you can say bowline, but it just doesn't sound right. It's bowline. It's like saying boatswain for the boatswain.
Oh, so it's not boatswain?
He's being serious.
I like that.
I'm not kidding, man.
No, it's not boatswain. It's boatswain. Or bosun.
Oh, okay, like a coxswain.
It's a bosun.
There's like for rowing, I used to row.
There's
in
no
high
T
school.
in it. Bosun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get, I don't know. Everybody has a kind of a different accent and pronounces things differently, and it's all just kind of a mishmash. So maybe I'm incorrect too. But
Yeah, you say tomato, I say tomato.
yeah, exactly.
And you say egg.
Egg.
But don't you say
Eeg.
tomato?
Yeah, tomato. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You say tomato. I say tomato.
But you say basil. I say basil.
Is it basil?
You say
How
oregano.
do you say herb?
Like I say herb.
Yeah, because it got fucking H in it.
Yeah.
There was a really funny skit by Eddie Izzard about that. Have you ever seen Eddie Izzard? He's the cross-dressing stand-up comedian.
Who also does marathons. He runs marathons.
Does he really?
Like a shit ton of them.
Wow.
A lot of them.
He's
Does he do it
he's
cross-dressed?
amazing. He is so
Probably.
good.
Is he a cross dresser? Is that just his...
He's a good cross-dresser too. He looks the
You would
part.
know. Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen your work.
I like
Very
the
impressive.
cross-dress too. Yeah, I love
Very
it.
impressive.
I love it. I've got some more ideas actually about that. I'll share you with you guys. I'm not going to share with you guys yet.
Cross-dressing
Just
ideas?
yeah. About different characters and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So now at this point you're in St. Martin.
Sorry, I'm gonna
Wife
love you.
knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care,
I
man.
came here
Go for it.
to use you.
Later, bud.
I
Oh, don't leave me hanging.
No,
I
use
appreciate
you.
being used. You can't be wearing my hat without me wearing my hat, so I'm wearing my hat.
Oh, I want to wear your hat too.
You wear my hat. No,
I
your
have
hair,
a
his
hat.
hair.
I
His
have
hair
a
is too nice. His hair is way too nice
I
to be
don't
wearing
want
a
to
hat.
hat.
No,
It's
no,
freaking hot in here, dude.
Yeah, keep your
Okay.
hair out.
I
I'm
was
jealous
nice.
of your hair. I cut my hair because of the fiberglass.
I'm gonna grow it out.
Me too.
Again,
Hell yeah.
you know what's funny is I tried growing it out and it was getting long. It was like down to my chin almost. But I had hit my head so many times because it was a new boat to me
Yeah.
that it ripped out like this piece, like a big piece, and it was like this little tiny puff. And
man,
every
that-
time I tied it back, so
hurts,
I just cut it all. Yeah,
hurts just thinking
it
about it.
sucked. Oh yeah.
All right, so where were we? I'm in St. Martin. I'm at Anchor outside of Marigot. It's a small bay that you can anchor for free. Crystal blue waters. I mean, I could see to the bottom. Fish under the boat every single night. It was amazing. I did that for a few days. Wife flew down. I found some crew to help me sail down. 2 different people, or actually 3. And we took off, man. I mean, we took off. It was the day after Valentine's Day. So my wife flew down on Valentine's Day. I got to spend some time with her.
year.
This year, yeah. So we're talking like 8, 9, no, what is it, 10 months? 11 months?
Wow.
10 months? I can't do math.
10 months ago.
The math isn't working in my head. But
Almost exactly.
yeah, so we set off and sailed 1,300 miles straight down. We were 2 hours short of 1 week for that passage, and it blew my mind. I mean, the reason why I tend to jump into things without knowing anything about it is because I'm the master of excuses, man.
Oh, you won't do it unless you just have to just do it.
No, I'll do it, and then I'll make excuses, and I'll get myself out of it. Like,
Okay.
this boat thing, it's not, it's so dark out there in the middle of the ocean. It's
cold.
It's dark, man.
It does get dark.
It's
yeah.
dark, and you can't
Stupid
see.
dark.
You're tiny for as far as you can imagine. Not even see, because you can't see that far in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, it's just not safe, and I have to think about the kids, and we should sell this boat and go back to the whatever. I'll make excuses, but not if I jump into it and just sink everything into it. So it's sink or swim, and most of the time I'll swim, and this time I almost sunk. But anyways,
what did you almost sink?
No. Figuratively,
Oh, okay.
figuratively,
Don't say
right?
That. Sailors don't make that joke.
It was no, not at all. So we sailed down. Everything was good. Minor squalls here and there, but still, I mean, we hit, I would say, 1 meter, 2 meter seas.
Great, yeah.
And
sounds
nothing.
Like a good sail. You got lucky.
It's nothing, but in my head, the 2 meter seas were like 10 meter seas.
Yeah.
And when I came, I told Colin, he was like, how were the seas? And I said, man, they were like probably 10 meters at some nights. And he gives me this look of like, are you an idiot? Like, really? Like, I checked the weather. And then my captain gives him a look of like, this guy's an idiot. It was like 10 times less than that. It was literally like 1.5 meters. And then, so that was my first encounter. I got called out on a lie. It didn't feel like a lie to me, though. So, we made it here.
That fish was big, though. That you caught.
Totally. It was scary. That's my point. It's terrifying out there, okay? It is terrifying, but you get used to it after a few days. We didn't know if we were going to be seasick or not. That's the problem.
Oh, man. So that is real green. I mean,
we just go for it.
How did you... That's ballsy, bro.
You have to, dude.
Yeah,
I just had to do it. I mean,
awesome.
We had to just do it. So
and it was okay?
No, we took meds the first day and a half. Mary.
So
Mary definitely knew that she had been seasick before. I had been seasick before, but I wasn't really getting seasick on those, those 10 lessons. So, we took meds the first day and a half. You're a little drowsy, but then you start getting used to it. You get acclimated, and then we weaned off the meds, as in I just stopped after a day. She stopped after a day and a half, and it was okay. It was a little weird for 4 days, and then by the 5th day, it was fine. It's just normal. I loved it.
What meds were you taking?
Something mean.
Scopolamine.
No, it's not Dramamine either. It's like I can't remember.
It's not scopolamine?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I'll find out. I'll tell you, but it worked. It's the one that they tell you to take instead of Dramamine because Dramamine just puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm open to more because I'm sure after I get back on the water, I'm gonna get a little woozy again.
A little sick.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I was on a dinghy the other day, and I was like, it's the first time I'd been on the water for 6 months or something, and it was a little not a dinghy, it was a bigger boat, but we were there all morning, and I was getting sick, feeling weird at least. But so we show up. Colin's here with Jamie. He's got his camera out. And I think he quickly realizes, this dude doesn't know what the hell he is doing. He tricked me. Because I may have inflated my sailing background a little bit in my emails to him. And, So we were just docked in the... we're in the marina for a couple of days. And then hauled out right next to him. And then began...
Was that a purposeful thing that you got right next to him?
Yeah, absolutely. So
you were that's open right there. I want there.
No, he actually said, hey, I'll save a spot next to you. Or next to me. He said, I'll save you a spot next to me. And I was like, really? You sure? Because this is a big commitment. It's like, hey, let's get married. You're not talking to some girl. Yeah, you're talking to some girl on the phone before a blind date. And you're like, hey, I've heard you're pretty cool, and, I'm pretty cool, so how about we get married for a year?
How about we move in together?
Yeah, and get married, because there's no divorce. There's no, moving your boats once we're there.
Right.
And then if it doesn't work out, you stay in your room, I stay in mine.
That would be really awkward to, have somebody you really disliked right next to you in the boatyard.
That's how I ended up here, fixing my boat. I still remember that first video that I made. I said... we are going to stay here for 3, maybe 4 weeks and fix our bulkheads completely. We're going to do it right. And that was 10 months ago.
I said 3 months, and it was 11 on my boat, on this boat.
Oh, wow.
And this is my 5th boat. so don't feel bad about underestimating the time. You always do it.
I really thought
it never goes away.
I was certain. All I need to do is cut open all of my cabins, find the bulkheads, grind them all down, open up any of the cracks, and glass it over, and put the cabins back together. No problem.
I don't want to get in that conversation yet. I still want to hear your story first, and then we'll talk about the work that you did.
Yeah. So so for the first month I was here, just kind of getting acclimated. I was in St. Martin for a good month, going back and forth trying to buy the boat and surveying it and looking at it for the first time. So I spent like 3-4 weeks there by myself. So I was away from the family. It's all good. But
did you remember like the feeling that you had when you first saw the boat? Was it like a real like a kid at Christmas kind of thing, or?
Oh man! So I bought literally the cheapest Lagoon 450 on all of Yacht World.
Okay.
Okay, there's no question about it. I got the cheapest one, and then I negotiated it down, so you have an idea of like how bare bones this boat is.
Yeah.
How crappy it is. I mean, gel coat's all messed up. All our countertops, all the cosmetic stuff, just old. Needs to be refinished.
That's all cosmetic stuff. Man.
Yeah, but then I also have the structural problems, right? I got old rigging. I have old gel coat, dull gel coat. Got scratches everywhere. No amenities. So like no Jenny, no
AC?
anything.
You have AC?
No AC.
Oh, that sucks.
No generator. No bathrooms. Barely worked. I mean nothing. So it works. It floats, but that's it. So I wasn't in love with it, but I knew, in the future, I had a vision.
What'd you pay for it? Do you tell people that?
Yeah, sure, I'll tell people. So it was listed at $360, and we made an offer at $350, and then we went down there, and found some minor issues here and there, and they knocked off I think $5 or $10,000, and that got us down to I think like $335, and then I think I asked for 10, they gave me 5. And then after the whole bulkhead thing, they came down another basically 35, got us to 300.
Whoa, they came down 35 grand from that?
And I thought I was
you thought you were
crushing
like
it.
in there like,
yeah, I was like,
babe,
dude,
we just made 35 G's.
Yes, exactly. Because I had planned out on a spreadsheet down to the penny. I knew how much I was going to spend on solar panels, how much I was going to spend on a solar arch, how much the hardtop was going to cost me, how much all the gel coat repairs, all the bathrooms that I was going to redo to electric. I mean,
How did you get the information for this?
Oh man, I mean, I watched every single sailing channel.
Wow.
Seriously, I talked to as many people
You
as I
absorbed
could.
like stupid amount of information.
Yeah. I mean, I was just researching, and then I added probably another 20% on top of that because come on, it's got to be at least 20%.
Do you remember what your budget was at that point?
Our goal is to get away with, let's say, spend $475 all in, and this is to make a completely cruising ready boat that has all of the maintenance that it could possibly have at that moment. So that's including rigging, sails, everything.
Are you on track for that now?
Yeah, I'm on track. I'm definitely on track. So it worked out. Definitely worked out because not because of the bulkhead savings. That actually is going to cost me quite a bit. It's actually the labor savings and the building savings that I'm doing down in Panama on everything else.
Yeah. It's
right, so
very
like
cheap.
I have a solar
down
arch.
Here is very cheap.
Solar arch, I budgeted about $8,000. Down here, I got it built for I think $2,200.
Wow.
No, actually less than that. It was more like $1,800 because I bought a ton of stainless myself, and then that's enough stainless to do a hardtop as well. So then the hardtop, I was planning on spending $15,000, maybe $16,000, and I should be able to knock that out for $4,000.
What did the bulkhead problem cost?
The bulkhead problem.
Or how much? I guess you to this point. So how far along is it?
Yeah.
How far are you from completion?
I've spent all the money that I will spend on the bulkheads already.
Okay, so how much did it cost?
Yeah, so I probably spent about $10,000 on materials. Okay, and that's really going excessive. Okay, that's me buying all the tools that I needed. We're talking grinders, sanders, all the disposable stuff like sanding pads, rags, tons of acetone, like 10-15 gallons of acetone.
What?
We're talking 20 gallons of epoxy.
Oh my god.
That's shipping it down.
20 gallons?
Yeah, I mean,
of West?
Yeah, no, I brought 5 gallons of West down thinking,
How did you
I'm so
bring
prepared.
5 gallons of
On
West?
the boat from St. Martin.
Oh.
Yeah, Colin had told me, hey, bring 5 gallons of West. I brought 10, but you probably only need, he told me to bring 10, and I was like, no, I mean, if your boat's worse than mine, if you need 10, I'll need 5.
That's ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to need 10.
Like, do you know how, it's so much epoxy. So, of course, I burned through that stuff, and then shipped in another 10, and then I bought some locally here. So we're talking everything that you could possibly spend materials and tools-wise. I spent probably about $10,000.
And then the marina?
Marina's about another $10,000. I just got to build. They decided to hold all the charges for some reason until last month. They just charged me $8,000 up until last month. So then I got another couple months left. So let's call it $2 more grand. So $10,000 on marinas, $10,000 on materials and tools, And then
What about your guy that you paid? to
oh
help you
yeah,
out?
I mean next to nothing. I mean so I've finally found some good help. Right, the guy's name is Carlos. He's amazing. He's truly amazing. He's 24 years old. So motivated. Unlike everybody else here, doesn't disappear, shows up on time, and listens to me without arguing. I don't really know what I'm talking about half the time, but I ask Colin. Colin tells me. I tell him, and he does what I ask him to do. And he's $40 a day, man, and he's beaming. He's so happy at $40 a day.
Beautiful.
But I want to take care of him because he's been good to me.
Yeah,
and,
just give him like $500 at the end of the.
Yeah. So what I told him, he wants to be a painter here. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to start his own gig, painting boats, doing bottom paint, and just spraying gel coats. So he wants a compressor, about $800, $700. And then also some grinding, polishing tools, another couple $100. So I told him, hey, I'll buy you all those tools once we're done. You work with me.
Really?
Yeah, total about 2 months. Yeah, about 2 months
That's
of
really
work.
Cool of you,
and then
dude.
I'll pay
That's
you.
gonna change his life.
Well, so I think he was a little confused. He thought I was gonna pay him with that. But so come payday, he was like, can I get some money? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you your day rate.
Yeah, he didn't even register that.
Yes.
You were like, no, there's no way you're just gonna give me that.
Yeah, I'm giving you your day rate, and then if you don't abandon me, by the end of the 2.5 months, I will buy you all the tools you need. So yeah, he shows up every single day, and he's happy.
No wonder he's happy.
No, but then we're friends now too. So I mean, you know how it works. Like you work with someone every day, they're cool people.
Does he
and then,
speak English?
No, not at all.
Oh, cool.
And then my Spanish is pretty bad, so
And
I
you're
mean, it
able
works.
to like cultivate
It
a
works.
friendship
Through
like
just hand signals,
hand
and
singing and
dancing,
miming.
and
that's
charades.
really
I'm
neat,
really
man.
good at charades now. But, yeah, so the most expensive part is actually going back home to see the family. So man, I'm not the type to get homesick, but there's something about being in a third world country surrounded by mosquitoes, massive humidity, and just like heat, and where you can't get comfortable at night sometimes.
Yeah.
That it makes me miss my family, man.
Do you have a AC unit in your boat now?
I had AC. So in case you're ever going to do fiberglass work, serious fiberglass work, in the tropics, you need to have ACs. I actually bought 2 AC. I have 2. I have a massive window unit that sits in the salon, and then a portable unit that I bring into the cabin. So we freeze that place down every single time we fiberglass, and it buys us about 30, 35, 40 minutes of time to work with glass, even with Cabasil, even when it's thickened. Without that, the glass would kick off. The epoxy would kick off in 5-10 minutes.
You're a fiber pro now, huh?
No, yeah. I see Colin and all his mistakes, and he tells me, dude, do this. And I've learned never to argue and just to do it. Even if it costs money, just do it, and then it works. And then you appreciate it. Yeah, there's been several times we're in there, and we're getting up to like 45 minutes, an hour, and like we still have like hope of finishing that, they were gluing in a bulkhead, and then we're doing the filleting, and then we have to tab it at the same time.
So much work. That's insane.
So
it's insane.
Yeah, so it's actually the travel back and forth. I mean, just to get to the airport costs you $150, or actually get to the city costs about $150 one way if you want to pay a taxi. So what I do is I rent a car, and I've just been keeping a car down here, which is a pain in the ass and such a waste. But we got to go to the city for tools all the time. I need some plywood the other day. I needed some screws. I forgot some rollers. I needed a mixing stick.
To have a car. We're really out in kind of the middle of nowhere, guys.
Yeah, we are. It's an hour to any civilization, and then another hour and a half to Panama City, where the airport is.
Yep.
So making that trip, and then buying flights, and then being back at home, and the boat's just sitting here costing money while I'm gone, and then coming back and taking a couple of days to kind of acclimate again. It's that's probably cost me another $10,000-$15,000.
So you've been flying back and forth every 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3 weeks, and then I'll go home for 2 to 4 days. So okay.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I mean 2 to 4 days, and sometimes a week. But then for the boat show, I stayed for 2 weeks. So my poor mom, this is like she's the most epic part of this. So my mom and my wife never thought they would just come through like they did. All right, my mom was watching our kids for originally 4 weeks. Okay, a week for us to sail from St. Martin to Panama, and then another 3 weeks for me to knock out all the repairs. And then I was going to come back. And then I was thinking, okay, so I'm telling her 4 weeks, and then it'll take me 2 or 3 more weeks to sail back. I'll just tell her when the time comes. And she'll just, what can she do, man? She's already trapped there.
She's got your kids.
Right, yeah, she's watching the kids all day long, and Mary's working during the day, and so, I mean, that's dragged out, man. She was starting to get she can't take it. So that's why I have to go back. That's another reason. I go back every 3 weeks. I give her 4 days at least to rest. We wrap it around a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, so then she
What a fantastic woman.
She's not that type of woman usually. Okay, like this woman has never watched my kids before. I have lots of kids and my kids are amazing. Her grandchildren love her. And she's like, no, like stay away from me. Like just give me my space. Like you're cute and all, but she doesn't want to get attached, all right? She feels like her kids abandoned her, me, my brother and sister.
Oh.
She feels like we grew up and we didn't need her anymore and we don't want her and we just abandoned her. We don't abandon her. She has the best life ever. But she felt like that. So she doesn't want to get attached to anybody that's like a child. But yeah, she came through for us, man.
That backfired. She's probably
it's-
so attached
She
to
is
those kids now.
She really is now. And then my wife, man, she works normal job. She comes home. She homeschools the kids. Because of COVID, we pulled the kids out of school. We couldn't risk not even the COVID sickness, just kids getting sick, and then all of us getting sick. And then if Mary's sick, she can't work. All the other kids, and then my mom gets sick.
What does Mary do for work?
She works at a hospital doing not administration, but improvement, quality improvement. She does the work that helps a hospital get ranked well on say U.S. News and World Report. Yeah. So then the hospitals get ranked well, and then hospitals do good.
What was your profession, or what is your profession?
Yeah, my profession. I used to be in oil and gas. That's what I tell people. But man, I never really had a career. I only did that for a few years. I loved it.
Sounds
it was fine.
good.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, money was great, but I just couldn't stand going into work, man.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't stand having to wake up to an alarm to go into a job where I have to answer to somebody else.
Yeah.
Even though the job was cush, I had tons of time off, lots of vacation, tons of flexibility.
Still having that leash up your ass. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's right there every single day, reminding you that you're just a high-paid prostitute, man. That doesn't have to have sex, but it's just as bad. I had to go in every day, and I have to smile right in someone's face, and they're gonna tell me what they want me to do, and I have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Even if I am okay with it, I'm just not okay with that. So, anyways, when we had our first son about seven years ago, that's when I quit. Started just hustling. We're doing random stuff.
Wow.
I'm really into like e-bikes and coffee. So we made this coffee product, K-Cups. The K-Cups, the Keurig machines,
Yeah.
Vietnamese coffee in one of those K-Cups. Didn't see anybody else doing it, so I sold that on Amazon for a little bit. And I'd love to tell you that it made millions, but we didn't. Because, like I told you earlier, I make lots of excuses and I get out of stuff that is a little bit hard sometimes, and that's the truth.
So did you have like a million of these K-Cup things in your garage?
No, I sold them all off. I mean, they sold, but like the next step was to go big and like actually pay for like legitimate packaging. Like we were doing all the packaging ourselves, the logos, the stamps, the outer box, and the time had come for us to like spend 10 grand and actually pay for 100,000 boxes and K-Cup labels and commit to it.
Big money.
Yeah, and I was like, we're probably gonna go sail. I had an excuse anyways. I mean, we're probably gonna go sail one day or go in the van, and how am I gonna manage this type of business from afar? So I got out of that, and then I sold e-bikes for a little bit, imported a bunch of e-bikes. A few years ago when I love electronic stuff, boosted boards, electric skateboards.
Oh man, I want an electric skateboard so bad.
Man, I had 4 or 5 of them.
I want them. They're perfect for a boat as long as you don't get them saltwater wet.
Yeah. So sold e-bikes for a little bit, just random stuff.
Do you think those would last on a boat? Actually,
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
was it worth me like spending $1,500 on one?
Yeah, it's amazing.
But
it's
would
so
they
fun.
last on a boat? That's what I'm asking.
It'll last on a boat, but you're gonna get hurt.
Oh, really?
You're most likely going to get hurt. It's so fast and it's so fun. And you're going to get hurt because you're going to be riding in really crappy conditions, road conditions out in Panama, and you're going to get hurt.
They have them now with those air tires on them. And
yeah, those are the off-road ones. Those are excellent,
cool.
man.
They look bad.
Those are a little bit more. If you want a good one, that's probably $3,000, something
what?
like that. Yeah, $3,500, but it's nice.
Wow.
It's really nice.
I got to get 2 though. So like going by yourself is cool and all, but going with a friend is even better.
Yeah,
then you can race each other.
Yes, totally, man. We'll race. My brother still has a bunch. He's got a couple of one wheels. He has all the boosted boards that we
you
bought
like the
together.
one wheel? There's a kid here that has a one wheel on the dock. Have you seen him ripping around?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I saw him with his brother on his back and just ripping down
just
the
carving.
dock. I mean, just
They are something else.
they're
man.
ripping, dude.
They are really cool.
They're on a Ultramare 51 too.
New boat, Nautatech.
Really?
46 before that, and then he sold his house, sold the Nautatech, flew out to France, I guess, somewhere, and picked up that Ultramare, sailed it back.
Brand new one?
No, used, but he sailed it back quick. I think they averaged 14 knots.
That's amazing.
Something crazy. Yeah, it's a very fast boat with
What's-
bulkheads that aren't broken.
What's he do for work?
I don't know, man. I think he was an architect, actually. Yeah, he was in some of our videos. He's the guy that helped us come up with an idea on how to level the boat while it was on pylons. Oh. So the boat, it's flying in the middle of the air, and how do you level all the corners? And he came up with this idea of using super long tubing in water, which is, I mean, obvious now, but yeah, he came up with that.
Wait, what was the idea?
So you're trying to get every corner of your hull to be balanced with every other corner, right? Sterns and bows. So you can't measure the ground. That's not going to work because the ground is different height. You can't measure up. You can't really use anything. So the only way to do it is to use a level. But no level is going to fit, right? A string level is too long. It's going to sag. So you use tubing. You use just clear tubing that's really long. We're talking 50 feet of tubing, maybe even long, 60 feet. You drag it from point A to point B. You fill it with water, drop some soy sauce in there.
That's a great idea.
Right? Drop some soy sauce in there so you could see it. Yeah, we use soy sauce.
Oh, I thought that was good.
No. It's actually, soy sauce isn't the way to go because the density of soy sauce, the soy is different than the water, so you could have misreadings, or food coloring, whatever. So the second time I brought some food coloring down. And
that's an amazing idea. So you drape it, right? Yeah, and then you just fill the tube, and then that's the level.
Yeah, then you keep the tube filled. I actually still have it filled under my boat because I had to do a bunch more leveling before we were locking in those bulkheads.
That's a really good idea. I don't know if I would have thought of that.
No, because we were sitting there like, okay, we got this boat on pylons completely supported by the bridge deck. So that's how you straighten a broken bulkhead catamaran. You haul out, travel lift, and you build these probably about 6 foot tall, 300-pound massive steel pylons.
Those?
Yeah, we got them built here. They cost us $800, man. $200 each. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's just for the welding because they just had the scrap metal around, and they're heavy. And you set them up so they're gonna support your bridge deck. You have the travel lift start dropping it down, and you put some stands, so pretty big, hefty boat stands on top of the pylon so you can adjust, and you level each one of those first with the tube idea. Right? Each one of your boat stands are perfectly level. Then you drop the bridge deck down on top of it. And then once the bridge deck is sitting, that's when you start slowly dropping your hulls down with the travel lift. And we see the hulls dropping down and like coming back together. The keels coming back together. And
that's amazing.
It moved so much that we had to loosen the rigging even more. And then even more. The rigging was already loose.
Wow.
Yeah, but it came down so much and it came down and came down. And that's why originally in St. Martin, when I was looking at the rigging, threads were, just all the way in because they had to tighten. As the boat bent outwards, they had to tighten and tighten and tighten over the years.
I wonder if okay, so catamarans are designed to move a little bit, but...
Are they, though?
I mean...
That's the question.
They need to bend a little, yeah, because just the structure of it, they can't be, like... Even an all fiber oceanmare, that thing will move. It
definitely moves. So this was the biggest question that we had for the designer. So there's kind of two repair procedures that have come from all of this over the past 8 months. So actually, I should go back real quick. So I'm down here with Colin.
This is a fascinating story, dude. Thank you for
sure, man. So I'm down here with Colin, and we start realizing that we found out there's another dude in Martinique that has broken bulkheads. Mm-hmm. And then there's me, and there's Colin. So Colin goes on the Facebook group and starts talking about it a little bit, and people just think he's crazy, right? They're saying like, hey, your boat is hurricane damaged. Stop talking bad about lagoons. You're just trying to hurt the company. Little do they know, like me and Colin, we love lagoons. Most lagoon owners do. We love our catamaran so much, So they started really abusing him, man. They started giving him a ton of crap and just calling him names and just people online just going nuts about this. Because he's talking about broken bulkheads and how to check your bulkheads. And he tells me, like, hey, can you please go online and... like post some of your pictures. It would really... He didn't ask like that, okay? He didn't talk like that. He's like, it'd be nice if you went online and posted some of your pictures and show them that I'm not crazy. And I'm in the city that day, so I don't get back to him. And then he texts me again, like, hey, you're gonna post some pictures? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in the city, but when I get back tonight, for sure, man, I'll make a video about it. He's like, yeah, good, make a video. So I did a walkthrough of my boat, kind of ranting about all these idiots that are just flaming us because we're talking about bulkheads and our bulkheads are broken, and I'm showing everybody and I'm telling them to check their bulkheads.
This is here in Panama?
Yeah, this is in Panama. This is after the boat is up there. This is probably a month and a half in.
And how long had Colin been here at that point?
Colin came here probably 6 months before, but he left. So they went to Florida to do work. Before that, he was on the show Below Deck, filming that. So he was gone for a good 6 months.
Okay.
So he had just gotten back to Panama probably 2 weeks before I arrived.
Okay, so that's when all the fodder started.
Exactly. So I put up a video and it ended up doing really well, and that's actually how I got into starting to make YouTube videos, or thinking that I could actually do it.
I saw that video.
Yeah, so that video of me
not
walking
even
around,
knowing you, not even knowing Colin, for some reason that video.
Oh, really?
I just saw
cool,
that
man.
video. I was like,
You heard that, guys,
there's another
right?
guy.
He heard he watched my video.
I did.
Zangaru, if Zangaru watches, that means you guys should watch it as well. Por favor.
Yeah, please do. www.youtube.com/DavidJ.She.
Sweet.
Right here, baby.
Or you could search David She. It's SHIH. Plug.
They see that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it started with us three. People started checking begrudgingly. They started finding some. Other people were still flaming. So we slowly started bringing people to the dark side of, not we hate Lagoon, but dude, Lagoon, the boat is broken, because they're denying it the whole time.
You could have just come and asked me. I'd have told you that thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, you weren't there for me. I didn't message you. I should have messaged you. You probably would have responded.
Yeah.
But so one boat, 2 boats became 3, became 10, became 50, became 60 over the next few months. I mean, we're to date. I mean, actually, last month we were at about 220 something boats.
Are you guys, when you say we, are you guys like spearheading some kind of like campaign?
No, not at all. This is just
Where
people.
does this data come from?
So there is a guy that's got a Facebook group that started the Lagoon Bulkhead Facebook group, and he was tracking. So basically, everybody that checks their boats goes on there, lists all the information about your boat. You put pictures in, and you show if you have bulkhead issues or not. So we made our own. We created our own data, or not created, but we acquired. We got
this super Lagoon fan Facebook moderator collected all the data for you.
Yep, he did, and that's kind of what got Lagoon to kind of change their tune. Okay, there might be an issue. Yeah, his name is, I can't remember right now.
I'll edit that out.
I should know his name. I saw him at the boat show about 15 times.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. He must have been real happy to meet you.
He was, yeah, maybe probably more Colin. So I catch Colin's seconds, all right? Like
it's so funny.
They go talk to Colin, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're that dude."
You're that dude that's like under Colin.
Yeah. So while Colin as everything was kind of picking up, Colin got a hold through Lagoon. They were actually kind of being helpful. Lagoon put him in touch with the guy, Vincent Prevost, the guy that actually designed our boat, and along with a lot of other boats. He's a super famous designer.
So if you've been listening this far, you probably won't mind me breaking this up and sharing a cool piece of info. I went and looked up Vincent Prevost, thinking they're very much talking up this guy. I wonder if he's actually the guy he's talking about. Turns out, if you look up Vincent Prevost under Wikipedia, you get VPLP Design, which is his design company with Mark Van Pittighem. And they have designed some of the top racing boats in the world. They designed the 2021 Vendée Globe winner, the 2016 Vendée Globe winner, the 2012 Vendée Globe winner. They designed the 2015 Hugo Boss boat, skippered by Alex Thompson. He designed Hydropter, which is this really famous cool cat that just recently got sold in Hawaii after its long life. I mean, it was like the 4th generation of this 1994 design foiling trimaran crazy boat. And the most impressive thing in his repertoire, in my opinion, is he designed the boat for Waterworld. That's so awesome. Vincent Prevost, you are my new hero. Okay, back to the podcast.
And he walked through the design and basically broke down every possible weakness and strength of the design and taught Colin exactly step by step how to reinforce, how to rebuild the boat. Exactly. We're talking like down to the layers and types of fiberglass, epoxy, where the strips need to go, what
And this is over like a video chat or like
multiple video chats. Yeah, emails, schematics. So Colin knows, or knew at the time, still knows the exact way to repair this boat.
Cool.
And then let's kind of fast forward down 4 or 5 months. According to the designer, that is not Lagoon. So when I say Lagoon's designer, you're probably thinking, oh, I mean the guy that works for Lagoon. But no, he's a totally separate entity. And he designs boats for lots of different people. He's, pretty big guy, and he's honest about it. I mean, he walked through and said, hey, in this corner right here, this is where we see weakness, and this is what we were thinking when we were designing, but we may or may not have been wrong.
Did Lagoon pay him?
to talk to Colin? No, not at all. It was more of a, hey, Colin was upset or needed help, and, Colin's got a big YouTube channel. Lagoon wanted to keep him happy. This is my guess, right? And then said, hey, I'll put you in touch with the designer. He can help you fix it, and then maybe you can stop being angry and everything will be fine. Colin was never angry. We're just trying to fix our boats. But
maybe you can stop talking shit. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, but it's stop talking truth. I think that's the key, right? Yeah, it's just talking about exactly what happened. Because Colin's a vlogger. He's going to show exactly what he's going through.
Which is exactly what happened with me, too. I put out a video about the bulkheads on that 500 that I delivered. And apparently it went a little bit viral in that world. And Lagoon does not like me now. No,
Lagoon called Colin that day. I was sitting on his boat when the president of Lagoon called Colin and said, hey, what's up with James? Do you know him?
I'm so happy about that.
Can you talk to him for
If you're watching this, president of Lagoon, you can call me, by the way, and just talk to me if you'd like.
So, anyways, I'm telling you that only because later on Lagoon came up with another fix, the current fix right now, which I kind of go over in this last video where we found 2 other boats. But they've got a repair kit that is basically a couple of pieces of wood that get slapped. You don't take apart your cabins at all, okay? You barely expose your bulkhead, and there's some cabin walls on either side of the bulkhead. The bulkhead, the existing bulkhead, is one single piece of 15 mil plywood that has some glass on it. Okay, so you got to shove plywood in between the bulkhead and the cabin walls. Not a lot of space. We're talking maybe 2 or 3 inches. And then put glue in between there. And then shove a bunch of wedges against the cabin walls and the pieces of wood that you just put in. So it'll squish it against the bulkhead.
Wow.
Okay, let that dry. And then you put a stainless cap over that entire bulkhead. It's a big stainless steel, probably
like a
6 foot
U-shaped.
Exactly, a U-shaped stainless steel piece that just caps on both sides of the bulkheads, probably 2 or 3 inches, and goes around the front of it. It's the thickness of...
That is insane.
So, believe it or not, that's actually a really good fix for the bulkhead. I take that back. It's a very good reinforcement for bulkheads that are not broken. But if you can imagine, your boat has completely bent so much that it's crushed that bulkhead. There's no way that you can do this type of repair.
After
you could. They're telling you to do it, but you're not. You have to straighten your boat.
Do you think that this should be like a factory recall, and they should add these in?
Yes. No. Yes. Okay. For boats that are not broken, this should be a factory recall, and it essentially is. Okay. The boats that aren't broken, they're sending out these kits. If you're under warranty, they pay for the installation, and it's great. Everything.
Oh, but if you're not under warranty, they still just send it to you?
So if you're not out of warranty, they've been still sending it to people
for free.
For free, which is
I didn't realize that they had done anything. I thought that they hadn't done anything for anybody.
So what they're doing is enough to sound really good and to be good, I guess, publicly, right? The publicity wise, but for people that have completely broken boats that are out of warranty, it's literally you get this kit and you can figure it out. There's no way to even install it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are they supposed to do? I mean, that's a pretty good liability.
No, absolutely. You got to haul out.
And plus, they don't know how hard you've been sailing that boat. That's not really... Okay, so if you're watching this right now and still watching, and you're obviously interested in the conversation, my take on Lagoon is they are good boats, but they are charter boats.
Yes.
They are not made to go around the world. The same thing like a Catalina 30 is not made to go around the world. It's just tabbed bulkheads, which means that when you put a bulkhead into the side, say, here's the hull, and here's the bulkhead, now I've got this one little piece, like a Band-Aid almost, of fiberglass. Band-Aid, here, 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 here. And that's what holds the bulkhead in. Well, as the boat flexes, which every single boat, even this oyster that has this thick of fiberglass, solid, this thing flexes too, it rips those bulkheads off, and you have to completely glass the bulkhead. So basically what you're doing now is taking the manufacturing process that they did, which is tabbing the bulkheads, and you're completely fiberglassing that bulkhead. And the problem is that bulkhead now has been damaged, so you need to replace it and fiberglass it back in. This is Lagoon's problem. Like, look, we build these boats. Just because you don't understand that doesn't mean we're liable to...
So the problem with that is Lagoon is marketing their boats. They, if not already, they really want to market them as blue water boats.
Oh well.
So that's their thing. They're trying to. They say that these are blue water capable.
Well, you guys screwed that plan up, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I think so. This is repercussions that are going to come back to them farther down the line, for sure.
So the reason why they're not all over this problem, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, okay, is because their boats are still selling like nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're 2-3 years behind on
That's
the different
amazing.
models, right? So, I mean, it's really tough to go tell them, like, hey, you need to worry about your resale because this is going to hurt your reputation, while they're clearly seeing just, like, so much revenue coming in.
So the reason I've been so harsh on Lagoon is I thought they hadn't done anything. When I talked to Colin before, he said that nobody has gotten anything from Lagoon. And I was pissed. And I think everybody should know that this company will not take care of you, and they build boats that are not blue water capable.
Sure.
But hearing now the information that they're sending out kits for people, I mean, what do you think the kits cost?
Oh, maybe $1,000.
Yeah.
$500, $400.
Are they giving?
bucks?
I Colin did say that they're giving like some people some kind of remissions if they're very.
I mean, they are helping. So, how do I say this? The people that are a lot louder, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Okay, so
That's corporations, man.
Just leave it like that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're really loud and really annoying, then
Yeah,
you get some help, and
you
then you
get-
sign
and
an
they're-
NDA, and then that's it.
Oh, that's the thing. They
Right?
sign
So
an NDA.
yeah, so there's a lot of people getting help, and then we all came together as a group asking for help from Lagoon, and then Lagoon individually talked to everybody saying, hey, we have to take everything on a case-by-case basis, which is understandable, but they would offer you something, and then before you got it, you signed an NDA, you got it, and then those people would disappear, and their posts would come down from Facebook, and their videos would disappear. So, that's kind of what happens. So they're really just trying to tear everybody apart, all the owners, so we can't kind of we can't band together.
Oh yeah, because
Right?
if you sign an NDA, then
Yeah, then you can't talk anymore, and then you don't want to lose what you were promised because you're just trying to help yourself, and then everybody takes care of themselves. And then those people kind of turn around and they start trying to protect their resale value.
I have a buddy. We will not name names that bought a new boat, brand new,
Okay.
and he was so pissed at that company. I'm like, bro, please let's have a podcast about this. Let's have a talk, even just a little bit. He's like, nope. I want the money back as much as I can get for the boat. I don't want anything negative
that's
about
how
the
people
boat.
are. Uh-huh.
And that sucks. It sucks. It's like this problem. It's a compound problem because me talking shit about Lagoon is only hurting me really and you because you have a Lagoon.
Yeah,
It's not
so-
the Lagoon isn't going to do anything, but I have to warn people like, look, it's not a bad boat. Everybody thinks I hate Lagoon. That's not the thing.
No,
they're not bad boats.
not at all.
For what they're for, they're beautiful.
I really love Lagoon, actually. I
Yeah,
love
me
that
too.
boat. That boat, the fly bridge, it's everything
Yeah,
that I wanted in a boat.
so
it's
comfortable.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal boat, but
Except for the sailing ability. I am a true to heart sailor.
I don't know any different, so...
I need to change the battery in this thing. Right?
Yeah,
Give me
sure.
just a second.
For sure,
I
man.
got one right here. Okay, we're back. Hey, I really like that camera. I want one.
You should get one.
What is it?
Called an FX3
I like it.
or an A7S3. Get the A7S3, it's the same thing. That one
Okay.
just has a fan, so we can record 4K a little bit longer.
And it's got both of them have a flip out screen now that you
Yeah,
can turn
yeah,
around.
all of them. Yeah,
love
absolutely.
that thing. And it's
Yeah.
got an XLR adapter.
This one does, the FX3 does, A7S3 doesn't.
I want that. Yeah. Anyway, stop nerding out and let's talk about let's finish the conversation about Lagoon.
Sure.
So
Yeah, so we should talk about the cost of actually repairing this if you weren't going to do it yourself and commit 6 months of your life and leave your family.
How many
and all that stuff.
hours do you figure you got in it?
Oh man, I can't even begin to tell you, and it's not fair to use my hours anyways because I don't know what I'm doing, right? So
Half the hours are you screwing up and having to do it over?
Totally.
Have you
It's
had a
not-
lot of that, like a big steep learning curve, or has it been pretty good?
No, it's been the toughest learning curve
Yeah,
of
but
anything I've done in my life.
Isn't that a beautiful thing? Is
No,
like
it's
this
not.
learning experience.
So, yeah, Lagoon is definitely trying to make an effort. Okay, they care, but they're not doing what's right. Okay, if it was a car that the wheels were falling off, or a house with the foundation just crumbling in on itself after a couple years, you can't just say, "Hey, here's a kit and fix it." So
How old is the boat?
mine is a 2013.
So that's
And,
right now 8 years old.
8 years old, and then that model started I think in 2010 and then ended this year or last year. So there's about 1,100, probably maybe 1,200 of them in existence.
And you're saying like that there's a 90%
So-
inspection to bulkhead.
So that's the
problem
key,
rate?
right? So if let's say there's 250.
There's 1,000 boats.
Yeah, let's say there's 250 with the issue today, right now.
Oh my
okay,
God.
but that's not out of 1,000. That's not out of 1,100. That's out of probably, let's say, 275 that are actually inspected. So it's something like an 85 to 90% inspect to damage ratio.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I mean, there's 2020 boats that have it that have never sailed before, because that's everyone's biggest question. Like, oh, Parlay, you were in a hurricane, that's why it's broken. But if
That's
you
what
go-
I thought too. Actually,
No, not at all. The bulkheads don't break in a hurricane. Everything else does.
No,
It's
it
not.
doesn't do that.
Well, the hurricane forces don't put the type of stress on your rigging that rigging does by itself to kind of break the bulkheads. You see what I'm saying? Or sailing.
I
does.
understand that perfectly because my boat ripped in half because of the same forces,
so-
the same exact effect.
Yeah, so if you go look at Parlay, obviously broke apart their boat, and as they're taking it apart, they saw places where way before the hurricane, there was already repairs and spacers set up for when the hulls kind of separate, your bridge deck drops, your deck stays, but your bridge deck drops, so then now you have this bounce, and there's spacers in there that someone put in there as the boat kind of flexed. So that boat did not get damaged in the
Wait,
hurricane.
what?
Yeah, so his
Are
boat...
you serious?
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's...
What were the spacers? Like plywood or something?
Yeah, just pieces of wood shoved in there. So you have
Wait,
under
who
your
does
deck.
that as a repair?
That's what you do. I mean, if you want to keep it the same without repairing the bulkheads, the boat is bent. Your deck stays the same, and the bridge deck drops down. Like, kind of take that and open it up.
Now anything that's in between there.
So you
has
have
to
these
a
you have these
spacer.
like stands that come up from the bottom of the bridge deck, not stands, supports that come up from the bottom. You know, the part that you see under your boat, under the catamaran, and it builds up, and then it supports the actual deck. It sits on top. So as the deck drops down, the top deck stays the same, and you're gonna drop down, and now you have a gap, literally
this is
an
where
inch.
you're walking, right?
Yeah,
here?
you're walking
Is that
on
what
top,
You're saying
yeah.
this is the floor.
Yeah.
And this is the underneath.
Yeah, and then
What's in between?
so actually this is the underneath. It's like that, right?
Is
But
that
then-
much space?
Yeah, no. There's about that much space.
Really?
Probably about that much space.
And
Less
what's
than a
in
foot.
there?
Nothing. It's just open, right?
Just
But
air?
then in various places you have coming off of this bottom bridge deck, you have supports that come up like that, and that's what your top bridge deck sits on. So everything had sunken down, so you have gaps. So as you walk through your boat, it bounces.
That's
can
fun.
feel it-
Good
yeah.
for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. But not good for the rest of
That's structural stability of the boat.
Yeah. So he had supports in there that he had to tear out for when he straightened the boat. Everything came back together. The boat wouldn't come back together unless he took those spacers out.
Got it.
So yeah, there were cut up spacers, pieces of wood that that were in there already. So you knew
Wow.
for sure that this happened well before, or at least began well before. I don't know. I may never sell my boat, so I don't really care. But my two buddies in this most recent video, they're screwed. They have to fix it on their own.
Yeah, that
they
sucks.
got one kit and for
And
free.
what do you tell somebody that after going through the whole thing, like sell the boat? What would you say to somebody?
Oh, like what they should do?
Yeah.
You just got to go fight Lagoon and get them to do something for you. You got to fight. You probably have to sue them. And then you get some compensation. You're not going to get what you deserve, but you're going to get something. And then you have to do the repair the right way. You have to haul out.
Wouldn't you just say
straighten the boat.
like just sell the thing?
Oh man, that's tough right now. You got to sell it. You either got to trick somebody so you can get.
No, don't say that.
Oh no, I'm telling you. That's why I wouldn't say go sell it, because
Yeah.
you'd have to go trick somebody, which you're not going to do, right?
I absolutely would not ever.
Okay, so and that's why I would say you got to fix it. It's just one of those things like, oh, my car, it's kind of got some issues. Should I sell it as is or fix it and then sell it? It's just a toss up, But for something like this big, yeah, you unless you want to knock off $100,000, or knock off 150,000, but why?
It's actually illegal to sell a boat with a problem that
Oh,
like
absolutely.
if it's grounded or
Sure.
something like that you know about, you can get in very big trouble. It's a maritime law
Absolutely.
in the States anyway.
But people do it all the time, and that's why.
That's so underhanded and
Yeah.
fucked up. I don't even. Anybody that's considering that, please stop watching and unsubscribe.
Yeah, so that's why I think there are some owners that are so against us even talking about this, because they have their boats listed and they know that they have bulkhead issues,
Yes.
or they know they probably have bulkhead issues and they don't want to check. I'm already done. I can see the tunnel, not the tunnel. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is bright and it is shining in. My life is so close to being perfect right now. I'm a month away from getting in the water, and then another month of I'm sailing back home. and all my problems go away, and I have a strong boat that is blue water, and I'll be able to sail around the world with the family. So I can't wait. I don't care anymore. But my buddy Dean, his boat is broken. My buddy Andrew, his boat, and you got to check out that. Did you see that picture?
No.
I mean, his bulkhead, it's split like this, completely cracked, and it looks like that. He's hauled out and about to start straightening in about a week and a half, and it's gonna take a long time. That's all I can say. He's allowed for about a month of work, maybe 6 weeks, but it's gonna be longer than that. And that's the pain that I'm talking about. Really, it's not even the financial side of things. It's how it just turns your life completely upside down that you just don't expect. Really, that's been the hardest thing for me, is just having to acclimate and just deal with the fact that anything I plan, anything that I have laid out for my goals for the week, for the month, they will happen. If they happen, if they don't, you have no control. So you just give up control of your life for I'd say a good 6 months. I spent 10, but I probably could have done it in 6 months. Parlay spent probably 3-4 months. They knew what they were doing.
Wait, I thought they'd been here for 2 years.
Yeah, they are. But no. They actually worked on the bulkheads for, I'd say, about 4 months, including cabins and the destroying, the lining, realigning, all the glassing, the grinding. They spent a good 3 to 4 months. Right now, they're working on a bunch of other stuff. So
That sounds horrible.
They've got sugar scoops going in. They've got hard top. They've got solar panels. They've got whole battery. They were hit by lightning a year ago, so more than a year ago. And so all electronics, radar. Basically, they're rebuilding the boat. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, good for them. Everybody goes through that. Every boat, it doesn't matter if you have cracked bulkheads or a brand new boat, you go through these growing pains with any kind of boat. Like this boat, for instance, I thought it was going to be like 2 months. It's like,
I remember watching it.
I'm gonna replace all the through holes because they're pretty old, and
Yeah, but I
one of
remember
them
that.
one of them broke in my hand. And then I'll rebed the windows because I can see that there's some problems here. Man, 11 months later, 11 months. And granted, I probably could have done it faster because I'm trying to run a YouTube channel and
for sure.
editing and
Definitely.
stuff. You know how long it takes to edit, but
I'm slow.
whew, buddy. I think any boat. I've had 5. This is my 5th boat. And every single boat I've had is just constant. There's always things. And then the thing is, you're living in a caustic environment, right? You're in basically a vat of acid. It's destroying all of your wiring. It's destroying everything as we speak here.
But physically, your body too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes such a toll.
I don't know. I think actually it makes you healthier living on a boat because
I'm
you're
talking
always
about,
moving.
What about the fiberglass, man? Oh, you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about you're just talking about the stuff.
Fiberglass,
I'm talking about
that.
overall.
Yeah, fiberglass.
I'm talking about rebuilding a boat.
No. I'm talking about living on a boat. Like,
No, that's
you're
amazing.
Always
Living on a boat is
working,
amazing.
You're
Yeah.
always moving. I think it makes you healthy.
No, that by far. I thought you meant while you're working on the boat. And
No. That's horrible.
I tried for a while.
Let me give you one piece of advice, and you guys too. Mm-hmm. I do not ever. There's only 2 jobs I do not do on a boat. One is sand the bottom. Mm-hmm. Don't ever sand a blade of paint. My buddy got so sick here actually 4 years ago when me and Kim were here.
Okay.
He got like stupid metal poisoning because he sanded the bottom of his boat. Mm-hmm. No, it was probably tin, and
Jeez. Okay.
it like almost killed him.
Jeez.
And
really?
so now it's if you can get to a place where you can pay somebody to do that, man.
I've done some, but I mean full PPE, man. Full bunny suit, full face mask.
Even that,
Really?
it's not going to help.
Okay. Well, luckily I didn't do too much
on
of
your
it.
skin. Please do not ever sand,
Okay.
or don't let your wife do it.
And what's no, she's not. I'm not gonna let her do it. What's number 2? Thing that you wouldn't do on a boat.
I can't remember. There was
Grinding fiberglass?
Huh?
Grinding fiberglass?
No. I do a lot of fiberglass work. Yeah. I feel you, man. I've it's been 16 years on boats. I've got a lot of glass work. In your wildest dreams, when you were buying this boat,
Yeah.
did you ever think that you would be in Panama for close to a year, or about a year?
Not even.
On the hard.
Like if you told me, bet me your life savings, will you be there for 3 months? I would absolutely. I will bet you. Hands down, not a chance. I will be gone in a month and a half. If it's crazy, a month and a half.
Okay, question number 2, and actually the better question.
Yeah.
would you do it again?
Yeah, man, I'd do it again, but not because of the boat.
That's awesome.
But not because of the boat. Man, my life has just completely changed because of this.
Yeah.
So really horrible things, you got to find the best in it. That's my one thing that I've always tried to do. And it's worked this time, at least. The boat, yeah, it's brought me through some really, really dark times.
Yeah.
Right, dark feelings. Like I'm sitting here wondering my choices, my decisions. Like how could I have done something like this? Or dreading. It's more the dreading, like having to do. Maybe like I know.
Yeah, if you think about it too far in advance, I totally understand.
No, you
that,
dread. I have 4 months every single day.
I have nightmares.
I have to do this, and then I'll get to the thing that I really hate doing, and then after I do all that, then I will have been away from the family for 2 months, and I still won't get to see them, and then I have to do this thing that I don't know how to do. So no, it's been horrible, but. I've been down here, hanging out with Parlay and learning just everything I could about boats. More importantly, I got into YouTube. This is something I've always wanted to do, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, I used to make videos in 2012, 2013. My brother did a whole... He worked for Google+. It was kind of like trying to be a Facebook, right? And they ended up failing miserably, but at the time, they were growing. And he was promoting at a festival, Google+. He brought in a bunch of vloggers. So there's a guy named Charles Trippy, and then GF versus BF. They're not around. He still is. And he brought them in, and I was like hanging out with them. They were just there to vlog all day, but I was hanging out with my brother, so they were always around us. And I was like, who are these people? Why are they always talking to themselves on the camera? It's weird. Yeah. But it's like they look familiar too. And I realized all of a sudden, like, dude, I watched these guys on YouTube. And after that, I was like, dude, I'm going to be a vlogger. Like, that's what I want to be. I want to do that. And I tried, and tens of people watched my videos. We did a whole
week. Tens of thousands?
No, tens of people. Maybe 100. And half of those were me just refreshing.
Trying to, like, bot it up?
No, I was just watching my video because I thought it was interesting. No one else did. I think we got, like, 370 views, like, on our biggest one. Yeah, hundreds. But we were traveling. We were doing really cool stuff. We traveled. We quit our jobs. We were going to travel for 4 or 5 months. And we were going through Vietnam and Taiwan. I vlogged every single day for like a month and a half.
Really?
Yeah, and I put up videos every single day.
Gosh.
It took me 6-7 hours, but I didn't know anything about sound design or color or B-roll. I didn't know what B-roll was.
Yeah.
And it was just clip to clip to clip of talking and talking. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. It was interesting to me, but you'd have to like really know us and want to go back and see some of the stuff we did for it to be interesting. But no, it was horrible. It was horrible work. And but I mean, because of this, I had been filming this whole trip. Okay, starting with St. Martin. And because of that first video I put up, kind of talking about the bulkheads, and then with Colin's encouragement, like I started making YouTube videos, and it's kind of working, and I'm loving it. I'm happy. So how can I say? It is very hard. It's horribly hard.
The sole proprietor of a boat and a YouTube channel. So I commend you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I actually commend you for a lot of things. One is not quitting, because, bro, I think this would break a lesser man. I'm not kidding you. I've told you that before.
It really, I gotta be honest. I would say it broke me. I just stayed broken for a little bit.
You're just too stupid to quit.
No, I climbed out of it, and then I just we really want to make this happen.
Yeah.
You know, I can't sell. It broke me, but what can I do? I stay broken, but I still have to fix my boat. I can't sell it. Especially not in the condition it was
Not
in.
now.
No, exactly.
Imagine you try to sell it now.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, this boat is broken, it needs some work. It was like, okay, I've torn apart all the cabins now, and I've done some grinding, and everybody can see exactly how bad it is now. Yeah. And then I'm going to try to sell it. I mean, we'd lose, I don't know, half of our investment.
Probably.
And then it'd be horrible.
If not more.
Yeah, so I couldn't do that, and that's why I stuck it through. I'm drowning. I had to learn how to swim, so I did. And but then I'm sitting here with people like you, hanging out with Plucky last month, and then
I love Plucky.
It's
like brothers, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the world that has opened up because of having this boat being down in Panama, and even sitting here with you guys right now, it's changed my life.
Actually, that's a good point too, because a lot of people, when they get boats, they have this change in their world. And it could be with YouTube, it could be with boating, it could be with just the community that's forming around here, because it really levels the playing field. Like, you can hang out with a multi-millionaire.
Oh, for sure, all
day.
the time.
Just because there's going to come a day when he's cruising and I'm cruising, and he's going to need a part, and I'm going to have that part, and you are all equal people. And
yeah. Yeah. Everybody is seeking out an opportunity to help others.
Yeah.
Almost to build up that equity.
Yeah.
You don't think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's not about building
No,
up
no,
equity,
no,
but
no.
that's just the energy around here. It's like people are always trying to help you. Like, oh, you need that? Okay, let me find it. I don't have it,
Yeah.
but let me call this person. Oh, you need a taxi? Let me
Yeah.
talk to this person. Okay, maybe
And
I can give you a
who's
ride.
like that? I mean, are you really like that with your neighbors? Yes, you'll loan them some sugar, but would you like go fix their sink? This was one of the first things I noticed when I bought my first boat and moved on to the dock. Like, one of the first things that happened to me was all of the dock lines were so old. In a storm, they all broke, and I came back the next day because I didn't live on the boat at that time, and there was all new dock lines on the boat, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, like how?
So I'm starting to talk to people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the German couple that live on their boat down the way, they saw your boat, and they just." And I went to them, I'm like, "Guys, thank you. Can I give you some money for this?" So I was like, "Oh no, I have so many lines on my boat."
That's people's answer usually.
And
Yeah.
what's crazy is now I totally understand where they were at in their head, but at the time it just didn't even register. I'm like, wait, how much did the lines cost? Like, I don't understand.
No, it's just about helping.
Yeah.
Well, even while we're here talking on the podcast today. So I came this morning. It was raining and people were grinding over by the bar. So I wanted to film an intro to a video. So I popped my head and I was like, "Hey James, can I use your salon just for a second to film something?" And he was like, "Yeah, dude, go ahead." And then he was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm doing a podcast later. Do you want to be on it?" I was like, "Hell yes!"
No. That was an idea that came up to me like right when you got here. I was like, "Man, we should chat.
Yeah.
We should have this conversation because your story's amazing, bro."
Yeah, it's
It's
I appreciate
amazing.
that. I really do.
It really
I
is.
appreciate that. I've had a lot of help along the way.
Oh, so
A
have
ton-
I.
yeah, a
Like
ton
the
of
reason
help.
I have this boat is because of all of these guys.
Yeah. So I got into this. I got in way over my head. I had no experience.
Good job.
I'd done some remodeling in our condo. I did some drywall, and I was like, I could do this, but it's not the same, man. It's just not the same. So
It's a learning curve, but everybody can do it. I really believe that like everything in life you can learn. If you want to
For
be
sure.
Elon
For
Musk,
sure.
you can learn how to be him.
it might take a lot of work and sleepless nights, but
Yeah.
you can do it.
Same thing with if you want fiberglass in your balls every day.
Oh, dude, don't fiberglass. It's the worst.
That's the worst.
It's just the worst. I can't describe it better. There's no
Yeah. Do you
other
have
word.
any tricks for before we go? Because it's been, I don't know, probably an hour and a half. Do you put talc on your
There's
skin or
nothing
something?
helps, man. Nothing helps. Yeah, put talc, you put baby oil, you get a lint roller afterwards, use duct tape, you go shake yourself in the ocean, you scrub.
Have you done that?
Yeah, but nothing.
All these things.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can get not a loofah, but a Brillo pad. You know, the thing you use to scrub your dishes or rust. You scrub the hell out of your skin. Yeah, I mean, you
That
can
sounds like
trade.
it would like pull it in more.
No, I mean you exfoliate the first like 10 layers of your skin off, and it takes the fiberglass with it. So sure, that works, but like I don't do it because it hurts.
Yeah.
You're literally like sandpaper. If you use some sandpaper, just use
Like 320.
yeah, there you go, 320, maybe 500, and sand yourself down after you fiberglass, and it won't hurt. But that sanding is gonna hurt like a yeah.
Is there anything that keeps it from you? Do you have your like routine?
No,
Man, there's
not-
so many questions
No,
I
yeah,
have.
it's
about
mental.
this.
It's mental. Okay, you just like
Do you
I gotta
have like
get this.
rubber gloves and then duct tape around the?
I wish
PPE
I
suit
should
and
have
then-
come here with the I was just fiberglassing.
Yeah.
We weren't grinding, but even cutting fiberglass gives you a different. There's two different kinds of fiberglass pain, okay? One is pure itch from dust that you cannot see. It gets all over your skin, feels like thousands of mosquito
shit.
bites or ants crawling on you and bites, thousands of them,
And
okay?
biting you at the
Yeah,
same
okay. So that's one. That's really annoying. That's what we're kind of talking about. You exfoliate it off. Then there's this whole other splinter type of fiberglass pain. It's
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're cutting fiberglass
Yeah, that's a bad
and
one.
the shards, they're super thin. Glass shards fly all over the air and you see them. They're little splinters flying around and they dig in. Not tons of them, just a few here and there.
But they hurt.
But yeah, you'll
and you
probably-
can't see them.
Not at all.
You can't dig them out. You
Yeah.
can't take a pair of tweezers. That's just. But you
So
know,
Colin,
you have.
The other day, I mean, he's got more experience than any of us. He had something in his thumb, but he hasn't been working with fiberglass for a while, so he didn't think it was glass, and he literally with a needle was digging out the splinter, and I was like, dude, you can't find it. He was like, why? I was like, dude, that's glass. You were on my boat. You have glass in your finger. And he's like, oh my God. So you can't see it. It just hurts. It feels like a splinter that you can never get out, and you probably get, say, 20 to 30 of those all over your body when you're cutting glass. So you
Per
have to
day.
wear you have to wear full gear. I was in full gear. So you start with, if you're doing fiberglassing, that means you're going to get epoxy on your hands, at least 5 gloves. So 5 layers of gloves on your
5?
hands.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so you get epoxy all over your hands. You have to touch something, take off a layer of gloves. You can touch what you need to do, especially
that's a
since we're trying to
smart
film.
idea, man.
Right, you got to take that
Really
off
smart.
and then you duct tape that to your bunny suit where there's only essentially 2 openings, or 3. You have your wrist openings, and then you have your face opening. The bunny suit has a built-in hoodie that covers everything up to about here, and then your feet are enclosed in the booties.
And do you duct tape your face too?
I don't duct tape my face. Your face doesn't really itch. Your neck really itches. There's nothing you can do there. I mean, you just can't, because duct tape will come off.
Because you sweat.
You sweat. Stuff just happens here, so dust gets in. Like, there's a little, like, the zipper comes up to here, just gets in right there, and then that dust will eventually make its way throughout your entire body. So they're just tiny little opening.
Screwed, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
unless you duct tape your whole face shut.
Yeah, but then you can't see. So, I mean, the problem is...
You have to see.
You just expect it. You just accept, not expect. You expect and you accept that you're going to have itch even with full PPE on,
sucks.
which I literally tore off as we were walking.
Yeah, I saw.
I saw. So, but that's it. Otherwise, it's just mental preparation that you just accept. Like, today, I am doing this, and this needs to be done. And you don't think about the future. You don't think about the fact that you're going to have to do it tomorrow and the next day, because I have
Think about the future.
I have a good 10 days left of fiberglassing, cutting, and all that stuff. So I don't think about that, though. It's today, what I can knock out today. And I'm going to finish today. And if I can finish today, I'll be happy. If I don't, it's fine, too. I'll just be okay. But there's no such thing as like, oh, after I finish what I think I'm going to finish, I reach that goal, I feel good about myself, I have a sense of accomplishment, and then I sleep good tonight. There's very little of that in the boat world, which I'm sure you've experienced.
Yeah, it is virtue to have patience.
It is. It took me, I'd say, 3 or 4 months to just come to terms with the fact that I can't control my surroundings.
Yeah.
And I still forget all the time, but that's when I started being happy again.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, it took...
Otherwise, what happens? You end up in this rat race mentality in
But
a
just
non-rat
exactly.
race existence, and it doesn't mesh.
Where you're looking for something to make you feel better about the bad things that are happening in your life.
Right.
Whether that's, I used to do that with work, right? I hate work, so then I need something on the weekend to make me feel better, or knowing that I had money to buy something. And then in the boat world, I was like, oh, okay, I need to feel good. How do I need to do something to feel good. But it's just accepting, like, it's just the way it is, man. And it's gonna finish one day, but I don't think that far ahead. Everybody asks, like, what are you gonna do about the cabins? Like, I don't know, I don't care. I'll figure it out. I figured this out, I can figure that out. Because there's not gonna be fiberglass dust on me at the time, so it's okay.
Okay, well, that's our timer to be done, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. It was very much a pleasure, my friend.
Oh, of course, man. I really enjoyed talking to you. I can't believe I'm sitting here with this dude.
Yeah,
man.
me too. Cool guy.
This is why I would never trade what I did, or this horrible decision was actually a great decision, right? I would never trade any of this. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, because I'm sitting here with this dude. I was watching him with his catamaran, breaking him in the ocean. I was like, that's amazing. Like, I cannot believe how cool that is. And then I'm sitting here with him, right? And then same thing with Parlay. I'm watching those dudes, and then I'm in their boat. I'm staying aboard now. It's like, it's been amazing. And everyone is as cool as you see in their videos. And that's just, I think that's the sailing world for you.
Yeah.
You know, it really, you just are what you get.
You're one of us, man.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
You're a cool cat.
Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely have the energy. If you guys want to see more of David Shee, go to www.youtube.com/David J. Shee. You should get rid of the J.
I should get rid of my last name, because that's so confusing.
No, it's all right.
S-H-I-H.
David Shee, it's cool.
Yeah, but like, how are you gonna remember like S-H-I-H?
I just think it's easier to.
That's why I keep on
David
saying
Shee.
it S-H-I-H, so you'll know that it's S-H-I-H.
All right, guys. Much love. We're running out of camera space. We're running out of batteries. We're running out of everything. This is a long one.
It is, dude.
I think this is the longest podcast I've ever done. But
Sweet.
it was a pleasure. Way cool story.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you stuck with it, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right, much love.